So take yourself back to 2005, or no, 2010. What the hell am I thinking? Take yourself back to 2010 and imagine unwrapping this out of the box. Just take a look at the beauty you would have had in 2010. Only to hook it up and be greeted with that. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not 2010 anymore, but we have an Alienware Aurora R1 sitting right here. It's going to be our next patient. No, I'm not going to operate on it. I'm just going to fix it. I'm going to tell you what it's doing, but to give you a little bit about the specs, this thing was built in 2010. And drop the cover right there so you can see the 2 DVD drives, all your micro SD card readers and stuff that come in these. These units were decked out. I mean, this was top of the line in 2010. LGA 1366 platform. So it has been upgraded to a Xeon 5690, I believe. Let's take a look and see before it crashes, because yes, it is going to crash. It's inevitable. Yes, 5690 right there, you can see it. This one I took in on trade, and I had done a little work to it, but I had to take some memory out of it to fix a machine that I had sold on Marketplace that about 3 weeks later had a memory module go bad. So I had to rob a little memory from my beloved Alienware Aurora R1, and I had to put it in that desktop, and I stuck his bad memory in it. And I can't remember which stick was bad. So if you know the LGA 1366, then you're going to know that this literally has 6 gigs of RAM. And oh no, what happened to our beautiful Alienware lighting? I don't think the application loaded up correctly, but it doesn't matter because I don't think any of it's going to last long enough for it to matter. Again, the same problem with the settings, but we're going to fix that because I'm going to put a different graphics card in it. I know what I have in it, and we're going to put it back in it when we're ready. But we're not ready yet. So let's shut this thing down and get it set up where we can do some testing and figure out exactly which module is bad in this Alienware Aurora R1. And I think we're running Windows 10 on it, so maybe we'll do a Windows 11 upgrade and see how this old thing takes it. But yes, we got Windows 10 Home 24 or 22H2 right there. So we do have that, but we have it's going to be a good way to stress this for you guys and gals. Let's look at a stress test here. So I'm pretty sure I have Nova Bench on it. I want to get it to blue screen because I want you to be able to see what blue screens are, especially when they're hardware related, which a lot of blue screens, believe it or not, are hardware related. So I want to load Nova Bench up, and I just want to crash the machine. That's it. And you can see the graphics card I have in it right now is a 2070 Super, which is probably bottlenecking and killing it, but now let's take a look and see. So I don't suspect we're going to get through too many tests before this thing crashes and burns with a blue screen of death, but we're going to go ahead and run it to see if we can get it to blue screen. We definitely have a bad memory stick, and I know what kind it is. I went ahead and ordered memory for this. If you're familiar with the old LGA 1366s, we'll take a look at the board in a second. But they have 6 memory slots because they take triple channel memory. So the max amount of memory, if I'm not mistaken, that you can put in, I'm showing 24 gigs of memory, so that might be correct. It'll take 24 gigs of memory, and that'll be the max on this system. But so far, Nova Bench, we're running the test just fine, and we haven't had an issue with it crashing yet. But I think that's going to happen. I'm going to have to turn some lights on and get some lighting too, or it's going to be a little bit dark in here. I turned it off for the dramatic visual effect of the Alienware Aurora R1. They are a beautiful system. How relevant are they in 2025? Well, we're gonna take a look and find out. I like Nova Bench because it will give you a comparison of basically all the machines that have been tested on here, and it'll rank your machine in a percentile. So we're gonna try to get it to blue screen, and look at that, our lights come back on. So we got our alien breathing again. But we're gonna let it run its graphics test here, and we're getting close to the end of this, and it's been running just fine since I booted it up. But I know for a fact it's gonna blue screen because I know that it has a bad memory module in it. I didn't replace the memory module, and I haven't even diagnosed exactly which module it is, because like I said, it's random blue screens. So what the worst part is I had all brand new memory in that, all 24 gigs of brand spanking new DDR3 memory in it that I had just ordered for it. And then that happened, and look, as soon as we're done testing, we lost our alien lights. So something's going on with that app too. It's not happy. But let's go ahead and do this. We're going to drop that memory that I put in out of it, and I'm going to stick some 2 gig modules in it today. And we're going to put a different graphics card in it and get the 2070 Super out. But with the 2070 Super running a Xeon 5690, let's see where this thing ranks at. What percentile is it going to be in? Go ahead and comment it down there. Maybe I'll just hide it and we'll let somebody guess what percentile to be in. But I imagine since we had the lighting going on and off, it's going to affect the test just a little bit, but we'll see. It's got a crucial 500 gig SSD maybe, or 240. I'm not sure yet. We're doing a storage test now. And we're going to get our Nova Bench score shortly. There it is right there. So we scored a 1749 on a 2010 machine. We got 949 on the CPU, 493 on the GPU, 55 on the storage, and 252 on that memory score. So we didn't get a blue screen there. You can see the scores are right around the same card. Let's go to the report. This is what I want you to look at. Remember, you're talking about a 15 or 16-year-old machine. And right there, system rank. This system ranks higher than 68% of all systems tested. We're in 2025. Can you believe that this old Alienware still does that? Well, that's why you're tuned in. We're going to diagnose a memory problem today. We're going to swap the graphics card over so we can get our better resolution on the screen. And we're going to dissect the Alienware and see what makes this 2010 Alienware Aurora R1 tick. So stay tuned. All right, we ran into an immediate blue screen on the first boot, so we're going to see what it does this time. So it appears that one of our 2 gig sticks might not be happy, but it might have just been the massive change of stuff we did. And it's not real balanced right now either, so we have to work all this stuff out. And oh, I guess we're gonna boot into it now. But it was crazy. We don't want to sign into Microsoft. Skip all that. We don't need it. The first thing I'm going to try to do is right click here, display settings, and I want to see if we can get our resolution right. There it is. 2560 by 1600. And we don't need to be on Discord, so we're going to close that out. Close this out, and there we go. We are booted into Windows. So we did have a blue screen. We're going to go right back after that benchmark and check it again. Because if one of these sticks of memory is bad, we're going to have to deal with that. I know it's not fun, but this is the way you gotta have to do them. So we got Nova Bench loaded back up here, In the next video you see is I'm probably going to go ahead and fire OBS up and move it to that. But I am going to have to hook a microphone up to this, so let me get all that set up, get OBS fired up, let's do some bench testing, and let's see how this Alienware will work. Alright, we have it back up and running now. We got a blue screen of death on the restart, but we haven't had any problems since then. And you got to imagine that we changed the memory, then we went and swapped the graphics card around, and that could have thrown it off a little bit. So as long as the BSOD don't come back again, then we're okay. This shows you the specs on it. We took it down to 16 gigs of memory. We got more memory on order for this, so we're just going to go with it right now. But you can see what the RAM is there. The speed of it's obviously 1600 or close to it, 1555 megahertz or something. There's the processor right there. It's the M5690. Got an Alienware motherboard that'll give you the spec number on it. You can see we're running the R9 200. As soon as I got a download I'm going to finish, and as soon as I get that done, we're going to go back to the the 2070 Super, best way to put it. So we're going to put the 2070 Super back in the Alienware. We'll do a couple more benchmarks after that. And then I guess the next video, not this one, we'll end this one after we get the 27 in it and make sure it's stable and do a couple of benchmarks. And then when I get it set up over on the second racing rig I'm going to set up, then we'll do a video running this one on VR. I think we're going to wait to get the 24 gigs of memory in though before we do that. When you start running VR, Windows 11 and stuff like that, I did say Windows 11, it's got Windows 10 on it, but I'm going to do the Windows 11 Pro update on this unit. So we got the lights back on it. I got to download the software for that. It will work. The software will work with Windows 10. I don't know if it'll work with Windows 11 or not, because unfortunately I don't believe I've ever had Windows 11 on this. We're going to find out if it'll work, but I love the sleek style. I mean, you got to look at the R1. This machine was literally the original RGB machine. And I need to download the software because you can actually change the colors of that. I don't like it really at pink or purple. I'm colorblind, so I don't really know what it is, but you can change the colors of it. And anyone that's had one of these, you look at the top of it, you can see how it's built. That's your handle right here to release the side door over there to get to your graphics card. The power button's missing the chrome piece here, but it's okay. Then you got the light on the Alienware head, and then it even has the lights down below here. I cleaned off a good counter spot to start working on these again here, but there it is. Good look at it. I showed you the card reader and stuff before. They're just so sleek, beautiful machines. Like I said, I did a marketplace deal, took this in on trade a while back, and this is what it is. I mean, it's a, where are we at, 25, and it's a 2010. So you're talking about a 15-year-old machine sitting right there. And you hear me talking about putting Windows 11 on it because I'm going to do it. I know it'll work on the LGA 1366 because I know that this has SSE 4.2. I'm going to double check it and we'll do that, and I'll show you how to do that now. So go to your Google search. You should put this on your machine regardless of if I tell you to or not. We're going to look for CPU-Z. Okay. And my hand is, maybe I'm holding it too tight. Alright, let's click that and go to softwares. That's failing to work right. I don't know. There we go. So let's go to setup English, download now. And it'll only take a second to do that. We're going to close this down, close Specky out. Go to our downloads. I'm going to drag one of them out that I just did. And that's going to be the Windows 11 download. We'll leave it over there. And then we got CPU-Z, so we're going to right click that. Yes, close that out, agree to it, next, next, next. Next, install. We don't need to do the README. Finish it up. All right, I'm gonna double click the CPU Z we just put on it. We're gonna open it up and I'm gonna show you what to look for. I showed you on the Windows 11 install video that was prior to this one. But here you go right here. Get you close by, you see right in that area where I'm pointing, SSE 4.2. That's what you want to see to do this Windows 11 install the way I do it. This is an LGA 1366 socket from Intel. We got 6 cores and 12 threads. Still a capable CPU in my opinion. This does not support AVX2 though. So I want you to keep that in mind if you're running newer games. Some of the newer games take AVX2, and these old LGA 1366s do not have that in the instruction set on a processor. So keep that in mind. It doesn't mean it won't run Windows 11, but there's the Radeon software up there. None of that matters because I got it pretty well stable. I've run a couple of tests on it and it hasn't crashed, so I'm pretty sure that we got the memory under control. We've just got 16 gigs of RAM in it instead of the 24 I had it maxed out at. That's the only difference. So we're going to shut this down, and once it's off, we're just going to pull this side panel off right here, and we're going to try swapping the graphics card out without taking this apart and swapping sides on it. So I want to get the 2070 Super back in it. I left the drivers in it, so it should be fine, but we're going to find out. All right, we're off now, so let's unhook the graphics card. The DVI port. Oh, you know what? I don't want to do that yet. I'm going to do it. I'll go ahead and do it, but it's going to have the stupid resolution. That's why I don't want to do it. So we'll take that off there. This has got a lock back here. These R1s, R2s. If you slide the lock over, that's going to allow you to pull this handle up just like this, and then pull this side cover off and out of the way, and that's going to put us right back into here where we're going to swing the door open. All right, and then you see our graphics card in there again. That's going to be the R9 280X. So let's get that out. I think you've seen me change this before, so I'm not gonna make you watch me swap it back, but I'm gonna go ahead and swap it back real quick. All right, we're back on. We have the swap completed. I'll show that to you by opening that door. See the gigabyte light on. The 2070 Super is back in the machine. And we're going to boot into Windows. We're just not going to get the resolution we want, which kind of aggravates me just a little bit. But what do you expect? You know, you're on your old... I guess that monitor's probably as old as the computer. But that graphics card's not near as old as either one. So it doesn't play well with the resolution on my Mac monitor. I think if I had a better adapter for the DVI right here to the display port, that something may happen a little better out of that. But these Mac monitors are pretty cool. If you look at the main cable right here, this big son of a gun that goes into the back of that monitor, you have a 1394 port right there. You got a USB right here. And when you hook those up, what that does is it fires up on the back of this monitor. You got USB, and you can see I got the keyboard plugged into there because it's closer. But you can plug a 1394 port or anything like that into it. So that is nice about the monitor, but again, the monitor's old school. And look, we're stuck on the Windows screen. What did we do to break it? The graphics card swap, maybe? I don't know. If we broke the install, we'll fix it. But you can hear the machine doing stuff, and we just went to a black screen, so we're either going to pretend like that's good or it's bad, or probably neither, honestly. That's doing a restart, so it's a graphics card change, guys and gals. That's just what it does when it's doing this, but we'll get it restarted. And it appears that we have temporarily fixed the memory issue by swapping over those RAM sticks in there to the 2 gig modules. We put 4 2 gigs in it. That makes 8 gigs. We already had We already had two 4 gigs in it, which was 8 gigs, and that gives us a total of 16 gigabytes of RAM. So we'll have a little bigger resolution here, but we should be able to go to here and to our device manager and display adapters, and there's the 2070 Super right there. So we got that done. Let's let it load in, and we don't want Discord loaded up here. Yes, I do have Discord, like most of you guys and gals do, and you can see how big it is because it don't like the resolution either. Let's go to display settings real quick. Maybe we can change it. No, it's not going to let us. See that? That's all we can get. That adapter is garbage. I mean, garbage. We're going to have to hook it up to a different way, to a different monitor, to be able to show you the rest of this, but that's going to be it on the Aurora until we get our memory in and we can do other stuff for it with it. So that gives you, oh, we got a new driver to download. Look at that, game ready driver, view details. Maybe we'll check that out real fast since it popped up. And one of the things we need to do is go to our apps and features. Well, somewhere that box lies. AMD software, click on it and uninstall it. You have a NVIDIA system, so you don't need the software no more, so we're going to get rid of it. I don't want to do the restart, obviously, while I'm updating the NVIDIA driver, but I'm not going to put the 280X back in it. We're going to leave that 2070 Super in there. I'm going to pull up Nova Bench to show you the different benchmark results between the 280X and the 2070 Super. We're going to finish it. We don't want to restart it yet. Okay, we're going to close that. I don't need to get in the NVIDIA right now. Just want to close that out. I just said I was going to do something. That's it. Nova Bench. Let's pull this up one more time, and I'm going to show you the bench test results between the 280X in here. Alright, so you remember a couple hours ago when we started this, we got a 1749 with the 2070 Super, and this is when we had 24 gigs of RAM in it. So we're going to change this around and take a look with the 280 and 16 gigs of RAM. So let's see the memory here. We went 225 on the memory, where before we went 252 on the memory. So you see the drop in memory going from 24 to 16 gigs. The GPU score was 493 on the 2070. It dropped to 244 on the R9 2080, or R9 280X. Looks like the hard drive stayed about the same at 54. And you can see the sequential read and the sequential write speeds there, which is not setting the world on fire by no means. But that'll give you the different testing, and of course if you look at the report on this one, we score better than 68% of all systems tested, where with the 280X we scored better than 58%, so we lost 10% there. That's why we decided I was going to keep the 2070 in it anyway. When I put it in there, it worked so good originally. If I hadn't had to give the memory away, then we wouldn't have had to work on it today, but we did. And we got it working temporarily, which is fine. I'm probably going to set it to the side, honestly, anyway, until the new memory comes in for it. So all that's fine. I find all my DDR3 memory on eBay usually. You can buy it on there relatively cheap now, so if you got some of this old hardware laying around, like an 1156 i7 920s, 930s on the LGA 1366 platforms, 2 gig memory module 10600, I think, are the memory you need. These do not take server memory, they do take desktop memory, so keep that in mind. Don't get the wrong memory for it, trust me. You probably aren't going to light up if you do. But let's get the cover back on this thing real quick. And I think you've seen me do this before, so it's just rinse and repeat. I don't know if we're set right. There we go. Oh, look, our light come back on. We don't have the software downloaded. Let's see if we can find that real quick. That'll be fun. So we have an Alienware Aurora R1. Type that in. Alienware Aurora R1. And just click software. Okay. Let's see what we can find for it. Dell support. We ain't gonna identify it. Where we get it? Drivers and downloads, maybe. Oh, operating system. We're gonna have to say it's Windows 7. Okay. Optional drivers, backup and recovery, driver OS, diagnostic keyboard and mouse. System utilities, maybe? Okay, I don't remember what I found it under the last time. Shoot. They have a name for it too. And I can't remember what it is. Maybe it's applications. Command Center. That's it. Alright. So we'll get the latest one, and you can see here. This may have come out in 09, but check this out. March of 2012. So let's go ahead and download that. I don't know how big it is or how long it's going to take. It ain't going to take that long. But I'm curious if we can get to even install on the Windows 10, because I don't know that I've done it. This ought to be interesting, folks. And I'm not kidding. This right here ought to be interesting. So it says we got it downloaded. Let's take a look at our downloads real quick. No. Let's not take a look at it because it ain't opening up, but other stuff's working. But our download folder ain't. What in the world? Alright, let's just go to downloads. And still no response from it. I don't know. Have you ever in your life seen such? Well, we can simply open that back up. And we can go to our downloads maybe. And we see the command center there. We're going to double click it. I don't know why that opened that up. What is going on here? Oh, we're locked up. I think we got... Yeah, we clearly got an issue going on still, I think, maybe with the memory. I don't know. Something's... Oh, you know what it is? We never restarted after taking those old graphics card drivers out. I'll betcha. I'll bet that's exactly what it was. We didn't restart after doing that. I'm an idiot sometimes. I'm going in trying to install stuff, and I got this thing so discombobulated and screwed up, it don't know if it's an Alienware or a Mac Pro, honestly. Oh, if my phone would quit blowing up, you guys wouldn't hear the dinging and the donging on it. But man, this is a lot of fun. I'm going to enjoy making these videos. I hope you guys definitely like, comment, subscribe, share the videos. You might find some interesting stuff, or you might find that I'm just a useful idiot, maybe. Either way is fine with me. I don't care. I feel ignorant when I look at that screen anyway. I mean, I hate this, that we got this cheesy ass adapter right here. And if I get I'm going to try to get a better one. Maybe I'll get on Amazon later and look. But let's, now our downloads are working, so we can try that again. And the main reason I want to keep the video going, because my battery's almost dead here, is I want to see if Command Center will log in, or if we can get it to install. So let's see that. I'll cut you back on if we can, because we got a low battery. All right, between dead GoPro batteries and everything else, we're back at it one more time here. Wake this thing up. Here it is. The original RGB. I am not kidding you. Here's our wheel. So they got this broke down into 4 sections here. 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? So if we go there, click on 1, zoom that color wheel, That, what is 1? 1's going to be the light. We can't see it. Go to 3. All right. I think that's the side we want. Let's say we want to make it a white light. There you go. Don't look very white, but we'll go with that. Let's just turn the wheel around a little bit. There's a little bit darker green. Maybe you can see it as well as I can. Is that pink? Yes, that's pink. Yellow. There we go. We got a little yellow going on. Another version of purple, maybe. Might be purple. A little darker. Yep, that'll work. A light teal green, maybe. So you can mess with all that right here on your little color wheel. This is really cool. I'm not going to lie. I don't remember. What color did we have it? Red, probably. So we're going to go back to red, but this software works on Windows 10. When we upgrade to Windows 11, I'm going to keep all the apps and features, and hopefully it'll work on it. But it is actually pretty cool. You got thermal controls here. So it's going to tell you what your CPU fan's running at, your ambient temperatures. I don't think those are working. So system fan, PCI fan, all of that. So it just gives you a little bit there. The Fusion here, hard disk, Internet Explorer, wireless adapter, sleep, USB settings, all that stuff here. PCI Express. You see it, but that's it. That's going to do it for this video. We're going to save that theme and close it down. Next video, we're probably going to have it hooked up to a rig, you know, meaning steering wheel and pedal, and we're going to test on it. So I want to thank you first off for tuning in to my jackassery, especially on this one. But we were able to diagnose, well, not really fully diagnose, but we were able to fix the memory issue with it to get it running stable again. It's only temporary because we have new memory coming in for it. So we're not worried about it. It's just temporary, but I want to thank every one of you for tuning into this channel. Simsation is going to do his best to make it. And I can't make it without the viewers and you guys and gals that are going to tune into this. So make sure you like, number 1. Comment. I want to engage with you guys and gals. I want to know if you want to, what you want to see. Do you want to see me do live streams maybe? Maybe live streams of iRacing or something. Live streams of any other game. But let me know in the comment section what you might want to see this old hardware do. And I'll see if I can make it happen for you. 2000, but can you imagine going back to 2009 or 10? And just owning this beast. Honestly, 6 cores, 12 threads in those days, 24 gigs of RAM. Not counting the 2070 because obviously that come out around the 2019 or 20 era. So we can't count that, but we can probably count like a, let's go back to like a 7870 or 79. You remember the old HD 7870s? That would have been about that air. So imagine that in there. It would have still been a beast back in the day. But I'm happy with it. I got this thing. I give the guy $100 on trade, and that was probably 5 or 6 years ago. It sat in my pile for a long time before I even worked on it. The whole problem with the computer, other than it being entirely outdated, was the CPU cooler was off of it for some reason. I did some adjustments, remounted the CPU cooler with new thermal paste, and voila, it lit up. And I had to straighten a couple of pins on the motherboard, it seems, and clean some other stuff up on this after I got it. But the later upgrades that came when I changed it over to a Xeon X5690, that really woke this old thing up. So that's what's nice about the 1366s, is you could do that. But I'm going to end this video here. And the next time you see it, let's bench test it. Let's see what this thing will do on iRacing. Will it run VR? I've got a surprise for you on that, because I happen to know it will. But thank you once again for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next Simsation video.